Chapter 4. The beginning of the end. Continue. Alright, welcome back. It's the middle of the night. I should really be asleep right now, but I want to play some video games, so here I am. Now, what was I doing last time? Alright, this guy was being suspicious AF.
Suspicious. Suspicious!
Like, why did my challenge not mean anything to you? Okay. First off, what do I need to do? I think it's time to visit Officer James at the swamp dock. Yeah, alright, let's do that.
You finally returned. Well, did you find the swamp creature? Where is he?
I didn't find him.
I didn't find him.
What? You're not getting paid to wander about aimlessly, Grimoire. Get back out there.
I'll keep looking for him. I don't need to.
I don't need to.
Final chapter, Boggy's criminal record.
Why not? I thought he was our prime suspect.
Well, not anymore.
Didn't you find photographic evidence of Boggy from last night? Let me see that photo. If that's not Boggy, what is it?
A guy in a costume.
I found designs for the costume in a trash can. Not only that, I collected all the pieces of the costume myself. Well, nearly all of them. There's still the one that...
But the footprints at the scene of the crime! How can you prove these don't belong to a real creature?
It was from... the missing page.
What's this? I thought there were no records of a footprint anywhere.
No public records. The footprints at the crime scene don't match the ones on this page. They were just a product of these slippers. A part of the costume.
But Grimoire, this costume, it doesn't have claws of any kind. How do you explain the 3 wounds on the victim's chest?
The pitchfork.
The prongs match up with the wounds perfectly. The handle's even covered in slime, see?
But this swamp slime was one of the reasons Boggy became a suspect in the first place. Surely this only incriminates the creature further.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But that slime, it's not exactly what you think.
It's that weird soda juice.
This stuff is an uncanny resemblance to the so-called swamp slime. A bunch of it was stolen from the storeroom of the cafe, which reminds me.
What is that, exactly?
A poisoned hot dog. It's the second reason that the murderer broke into the storeroom. He put this green powder on the entire supply, just to make sure.
To make sure of what?
To make sure no one would ever eat at the cafe again, to make sure everyone in the swamp would be poisoned, to make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office.
To make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office.
Remington went back to his office? Alone?
Final chapter, the murder. Wait, that's weird. I feel like I just went through like 3 chapters in a row. Continue.
I've been looking through your evidence, Grimoire. One piece in particular seems critical to me. I think we need to work out.
Video footage? Vincent Vanderpeer filmed it last night, at the exact moment of the murder, I believe.
Well, exactly. I think we can both agree these sounds in the background. They're essential in our mystery. Could you talk me through them? Just rearrange the descriptions on the left to match the sounds on the right.
Alright.
Drag them around and keep swapping until you're happy with the order. And if you want to hear the sounds again, you can tap on them.
No problem. I can always check my case file if I want to go over my notes.
Let's see. Remington rips off some curtains as he falls. Remington cries out in shock as Boggy appears. Remington cries out in shock and falls backwards. Yeah. Culprit grabs the metal poker and stabs Remington. Remington fires his hunting rifle at the culprit. Remington lands on the planks outside of his office. Culprit drops the metal poker in the office.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Ah, excellent. There's just two small details bothering me. First of all, if Remington ripped off a piece of his curtains, why wasn't it found at the crime scene? What happened to it?
They stuffed it into the costume. Oh, I thought the fabric was lining the headpiece, not that it was like just stuffed
Turns
inside.
out the murderer took that piece of fabric and concealed it inside the head of the costume. Then he fled the crime scene to hide all the parts in different areas of the swamp.
Ah, well, that's my problem. If Remington fired his rifle, how did the assailant survive and manage to escape? Did Remington miss his target?
At point blank? A man of his experience? I don't think so. In fact, the answer to that question is the very last link in our chain. The one thing that has eluded me so far. I'll drag the clue items from the left onto my drawing here, and we'll see what happens when we compare the pieces I collected
Yeah.
with the original design I found.
It's the chest piece that we haven't found yet. The stomach piece, whatever it's called.
Wait, you never found the body piece.
You're right, and I never would have found it. Not lying around. Not like the others.
I bet it's in Echo's tent.
But what does this have to do with the murderer surviving the rifle shot?
This torso is probably made up of some thick material. Something covering the culprit's entire upper body. I believe it may have even been enough to
To soften the impact from a bullet. Aha!
Exactly.
Well, let's put your theory to the test. Where is that last piece of the costume?
It's under the padding, I bet.
But how? We looked everywhere. Not a single clue.
Simple. He's still wearing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you, dude.
I don't know what you want with me. Sounds like you two were smart enough to uncover the real criminal in this swamp, and lucky enough to have somebody else deal with him for you. You worked it out. He had his rifle on him. He got half a glance at me and pulled the trigger without hesitation.
But why would he do that? You were dressed as Buggy. He shouldn't be pointing his gun at a unique scientific specimen, not to mention his main attraction.
You're right. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Not unless
You guys
you're
keep
in on the
interrupting each
secret.
other. You're in on the secret. Hunting photo leads me to believe that Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy.
The hunting photo leads me to believe Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy.
The hunter and the hunted.
A secret society, an order of hunters, seeking out mysterious and elusive creatures.
The order goes further than this one man, and much further than this one swamp.
The whole thing is kind of distressing. I knew something was wrong as soon as I stepped into that office.
I'm glad you've finally come around. It's not just
But what about Remington? He was a member of this order?
He made Boggy his own personal project, his own obsession. For years he hunted the creature, the potential perfect addition to his collection.
But he owned the tourist attraction. He set it up himself, didn't he?
He did. It was just his way of forming a legal loophole. Since the area became protected, he and his friends were unable to come here for hunting anymore. Boggy's Bog was just a front for his own little game. A man pursuing a creature.
A creature that might not even exist.
And that's why Remington kept a rifle nearby at all times?
Well, exactly. He didn't want to take any chances.
Now, don't you see? I did this place a service. Did Boggy a service. That creature, he can live in peace again.
Can he? You tried to frame him for murder. You wanted everyone to think he was some kind of ruthless predator?
Well, think about it. Once he became suspected of murder, they'd have no choice but to shut this whole place down. Everyone would finally realize they had no business here.
But he's not a killer. You didn't have the right. How can you know what Boggy wanted? Little girl talks like she knows him personally, so...
How can you know what Boggy wanted? He might not be what you're...
Detective,
You. It's
finished. Well, don't be angry. You should be glad. It's finally time to leave the swamp. You have another job to do.
I don't know.
Not that it makes any difference to somebody like you, but I never intended to kill him. Just to scare him. Convince him Boggy wasn't going to let him live here in peace any longer. But, true to form, he had his rifle on him. You worked out the rest yourself.
So it was self-defense. That does actually make a difference. This whole conclusion wrap-up, it's very dreamy. Like the way everyone's just talking and coming into the conversation, it's very... I'm not sure how to describe it other than dreamy, but it's very like fantasy, in your mind-esque.
It makes a difference.
Well, Mr. Everstone, I'm afraid you'll still have to come with us. Fortunately, there's a police station just a few miles down.
Hey, wait!
Yo.
Aha!
Looks like you solved more than one mystery tonight.
And that's a wrap. I didn't get to 100% everything though. It's gonna bother me. I'm gonna have to go back and do that. But yeah, I solved the case. Praise me. Thank you, SFB Games.
Grimoire.
Well, what did they decide to do?
We had Mr. Everstone questioned. He was happy to tell us everything he knew. A number of rumors going around the department have been confirmed.
And Remington's office?
Searched down to the last detail. And well, we agree with you, but I know what you're thinking. I'd love to put an end to it, just the same as you. But there's always...
Are we going after them?
We better be.
Oh, so now we're gonna be paranormal investigators protecting supernatural creatures and cryptids. We're gonna go after the guys that are hunting and poaching them. Yeah! Alright, go Detective Grimoire. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. I thought that was a very cute, enjoyable detective mystery. It was kind of easy to figure out, but it's not a super long game. A few hours long. But it was good. It was good. and I look forward to playing the sequel, which is already out, and you can buy it on Steam at least. Maybe a few other consoles as well, I'm not sure. Alright, ta-ta for now. Okay, real quick, there was just one last thing I had to get, and that was the key code to Echo's tent lock. And I wanted to finish off at least that bit of the mystery. So I looked it up, and the code is supposed to be on the poster at the museum. So that's what I'm just gonna grab and get.
Outside. It's locked though. It's a poster from the old Boggy. Boggy playing the piano. He's having a grand old. Copyright MCM.
So this is probably the code, but I don't know how to read that. MCM XXXIV.
That'll be 1930, 1930.
There we go. Thank you, Detective Grimoire, for just outright saying it. Okay, so with this, we should be able to get it. Get inside.
I'm impressed someone managed, and it's Echo's tent. It's a piece. It should open.
Okay, so it's 1934. Here we go.
It's a journal. I guess it belongs to Echo. Bad news. Remington is dead. I don't know what to do. Was my whole protest in vain? They'll shut this place down, sure, but I'll never know if I got through to it.
So yeah, you can tell that the murder wasn't intentional. It was an accident, or at least not planned.
That's all he's written.
Okay, so that's that mystery solved. I want to also show him all of the other clues that I didn't get a chance to.
I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else. No thanks, my friend. You're not a bad detective.
Well, I found the photo in Remington's office. It was ripped up, though. I think he was some kind
He
of...
was a lot of things. Don't lose that picture. And
Yeah.
show it to Mr. Harper before you leave.
Okay, yeah. So he knew what was going on.
Why are you carrying that around with you?
I have a suspicion it may have been the murder weapon.
Really? I thought Remington was attacked by something with claws, wasn't he?
Yeah. Dude, you're so obvious.
I'm afraid I have no idea. This is the journal, correct? The one that man left here 60 years ago?
You seem a little unsure of the details. Shouldn't you have read up on all this stuff?
Forgive me. It's hard for me to get the image of Boggy as the lovable cartoon character out of my mind. He's so iconic. Did you know, in 1973,
But you're protesting to protect the real swamp creature. The cartoon character is just some commercial byproduct, right?
Yes, of course.
So yeah, that's why the costume was like a mix of the cartoon and the real Boggy, because he couldn't get the cartoon Boggy out of his mind. I also want to show this nerd the pages from the thing.
Boggy's feet are never shown in any form. They often use that little red bucket to hide them.
I mean, I know I'd geek out about it.
Is that the missing page of the journal?
I think so.
It's an important artifact. It belongs in a museum.
Huh.
Yeah, you're not wearing the right hat to be saying that.
Yeah, alright. Okay, so that's everything. Thank you for watching this little tacked on thing at the end, I guess. And I'll see you guys next time. Ta-ta for now.